Assalamualaikum, my name is Irfan Muzaffar bin Alias. My metric number is 01DEE24F1138. For the introduction, I will introduce the bipolar junction transistor and its significance in electronic. And then I will explain about BJT terminal, BJT type, and the material in BJT. For the first introduction, bipolar junction transistor BJT has three doped semiconductor regions separated by two PN junction. The three regions are called emitter, base, and collector. Transistor can be either PNP or NPN type. The base region is lightly doped and very thin compared to the highly doped emitter and moderately doped collector region. Current does not flow in through the emitter and collector unless there is voltage bias applied to the base. So as you can see, there is three terminal: collector, base, and emitter. The function for base is act like a gate or switch to control the transistor. A small current at the base control a much larger current between collector and emitter. The material is very thin and lightly doped compared to the other region. For the emitter, function is supplies charge carriers. It is heavily doped to inject a large number of carriers into the base. The current starts from the emitter. For the collector, the function is collect the carriers supplied by the emitter after they pass through the base. It is moderately doped and larger in size to dissipate heat because it handles the largest current. Currents flow out through the collector. Okay, so the simple way to think about it: base control the flow, emitter push the flow, collector receive the flow. The BJT type is divided into two types, PNP and NPN. For PNP, the emitter is connected to negative. The base is positive but lightly positive compared to the emitter. The collector is more positive than the base. Current flow: electron flow from emitter to base. Most electrons don't stay in the base. They are swept into the collector because the collector is more positive. Conventional current: base current plus collector current equal to emitter current. For the PNP transistor, the emitter is connected to positive, more holes. The base is negative but lightly negative compared to the emitter. The collector is more negative than the base. For the current flow, holes flow from emitter to base. Most holes cross the base and go into the collector. Conventional current flow: base current plus collector current equal to emitter current. Bipolar junction transistor are commonly made from semiconductor material such as silicon and germanium. Silicon is the most widely used material for making BJT today. Germanium was popular in early transistor but is now used less often. Why is silicon more commonly? First one, thermal stability. Silicon can operate at higher temperature without breaking down compared to germanium. Second one, electrical properties. Silicon has a wider energy band gap compared to germanium. This means silicon devices have lower leakage current and more reliable. Third one, availability and cost. Silicon is abundant in nature, making it cheaper and easier to process for electronic manufacturing. The last one, oxide layer formation. Silicon can form a natural oxide SiO2, which is very useful in making insulated gate device. Although more for MOSFET, it also helps in integrated circuit fabrication involving BJT. First, put negative probe at terminal positive and positive probe at terminal negative, and then set the range at 10 ohm. And lastly, do 0 ohm adjustment. Touch red to first terminal and black to second terminal. And then touch black to second terminal and red to third terminal. This step is to identify which one the terminal is base. Touch red to second terminal and black to first terminal. and then touch red to second terminal and black to third terminal. Or PMP. If the red probe on the base, then it is NPN because red is positive. For the conclusion, in this experiment we learn about the BJT 3 terminal, base, collector and emitter, and their functions. We compare NPN and PNP types and discuss why silicon is preferred for making BJT. Understanding BJT terminals, type and material is important for designing reliable and efficient electronic circuit.